Thinking about camping in Georgia? We've got the inside scoop on Woodring Campground near Ellijay, Georgia on Carter's Lake. It's an Army Corps of Engineers park with shaded sites, lake access, and a beach. We'll show you what it's like to drive in, what the sites look like with a driving tour, and some of the fun things to do nearby, including a train ride through the mountains and tubing down the 𝙗𝙤𝙬𝙀𝙗 River. Let's check it out. We're Dave and Karen from Watts on Wheels. We roll, we camp, and yeah, we play. Once you turn off the highway, it's about 2.7 miles back to the campground. It's a very pretty drive through the woods, but the road is a little narrow and it's twisty in spots. You'll also want to watch for tree limbs and wires. We made it fine with our Super C, but it got pretty close a couple of times. At the end of the drive, you'll come to the campground entrance and gatehouse. All sites are reserved online ahead of time at recreation.gov. If the host is there, you'll just check in, but if not, you'll need to fill out the form and drop it in the box, then head on to your site. Campground roads are paved but tight in some spots. Most sites are back in, and most of them have beautiful lake views. For once, it's not a blind back end, for the most part. Here's the water, here's the power where I'm standing. You got gravel behind you, you got a long ways you can go. Just keep on coming. This is nice. Come back about 2-3 feet. That's good, right there. Okay, we're doing an auto level. So I have this app that I can do all the slides from, along with other things. Let's do the slides. Okay, so I can extend the living room. It's kind of cool because then you can walk around and make sure you're not going to hit any trees or posts or anything. That means that's done. And then I'm going to do the bedroom. So I got a bed slide and a closet slide. Bedroom, extend. And then the other two. Now that's my kind of setup. Quick and painless. Here's our site, Site 14. Plenty of room for the Super C and Jeep with a great mix of shade and privacy. And what a view. And our friends Terry and Nancy were in 15, which is kind of like down in the hill here, right on the water. Pretty tight in there though. They didn't open up their slide on this side because to get around back to the picnic table was going to be like a little jog. Okay, we're right across the street over here. Here comes our ride.
Here comes Sally.
And they've got this, what year did he say this thing was?
1990, I think.
Like a 1990 Saturn, and this little sucker's got a lot of miles on it. But this thing just keeps on going. And off we go. Terry and Nancy chauffeured us around for some fun in town. But before we head out, let's take a quick tour of Woodring Campground so you can see what it's like. And this is Nancy. She's my driver today.
Hello.
Dave was so happy about that. The entrance to the day use area is right at the front of the campground. Instead of turning right into the campground, you just continue straight ahead. And it's a $5 fee. It's paid by the honor system. The day use area here at Woodring is actually quite large with a long road that winds down to the lake. Along the way, you'll find plenty of space for picnics, group gatherings, and even a couple of boat ramps with lots of parking. There are pavilions, picnic tables, trails, and wide open spaces. It makes it a perfect spot for a family day by the water. This is basically just one long peninsula that you drive down. Woodring Branch Campground sits in the North Georgia mountains right on Carter's Lake, just about 70 miles north of Atlanta and a short drive from Ellijay. It's an Army Corps of Engineers park known for clean, quiet campsites where you can really relax and enjoy the outdoors. This campground has more than 40 sites. Some of the campsites are cut down into the hillside, so you want to be careful pulling in or out, not to scrape your hitch. Most of them have electric and water hookups, plus flush toilets, showers, a dump station, and even a small swimming beach. A children's playground and picnic area make it family friendly, and there are boat ramps on site if you want to get out on the water. Carter's Lake itself is beautiful, 3,200 acres with 62 miles of undeveloped shoreline. It's popular for boating and fishing, with everything from bass and crappie to walleye and catfish. If you'd rather stay on land, there are two main hiking trails right here, the 𝙬𝙧𝙬𝙀𝙧 Trail, a 3.5-mile beginner-friendly loop along the lake, and the Oak Ridge Natural Trail, which offers a mix of terrain and plenty of plants and wildlife to see. Reservations are required before you arrive, and check-in is at 3 p.m. Checkout is at noon. Campsites can hold up to 8 people, 2 vehicles, and 1 boat. Like all COE campgrounds, you'll need to bring or buy firewood locally to help protect the forest. So whether you're here for the fishing, the boating, the hiking, or just the peace and quiet, Woodring branch of Carter's Lake really does have something for everyone. Now that you've seen the campground, let's head into Blue Ridge for a train ride. So this is a 4-hour trip, 2 hours up into Tennessee, right at the border. And then we'll be up there shopping and eating for 2 hours, and then we'll take the train back again. So we teamed up with our friends Terry and Nancy, and we headed into Blue Ridge, Georgia, to ride the Blue Ridge Scenic Railway. The train winds along the 𝙘𝙬𝙢 River for about an hour until it reaches the twin towns of McKaysville, Georgia, and Copper Hill, Tennessee. What makes this spot unique is that the state line runs right through town. There's even a blue stripe painted on the street where you can stand with one foot in Georgia and the other one in Tennessee. We had about 2 hours to explore, and that's where all the fun began. We did a little shopping in both states, had a hearty lunch at the Cornerstone Cafe, and of course treated ourselves to ice cream afterward. We also made a stop at the Blue Ridge Distillery for some wine tasting, and everyone found a little something to take home from the Blue Ridge Mountain Mall. Between the shops, the food, and that quirky state line, it was the perfect way to spend an afternoon. Afterwards, the train took us back through the mountains to Blue Ridge, and we couldn't help but feel like the whole day had been one of those travel memories we'll never forget, especially getting to share it with good friends. Another highlight of our trip was tubing with our friends Terry and Nancy at the 𝙗𝙗𝙗 River Experience in Ellijay. We couldn't bring our cameras on the water, so here are a few photos to give you the idea. The river winds gently through the North Georgia mountains with stretches of calm water mixed with little rapids and rocks that keep things exciting. Sometimes a little too exciting. I got knocked right out of my tube, and Dave had to jump off of his to help me back in because the current was too strong there. Nancy ended up getting tossed out as well. The water was about 68 degrees, but surprisingly, it didn't feel bad at all. In the end, we laughed it off and had an absolute blast floating downstream together. If you're in Ellijay during the summer, tubing the 𝙗𝙗𝙗 River is a must-do adventure.
What?
Never mind. On our last night, we headed down to the beach here at Woodring. It was the perfect way to wrap up our stay. Peaceful water, evening sun, and time to just relax before heading out the next morning. Before leaving, we stopped at the dump station, which also has a dumpster for trash. The setup worked fine, though the turn pulling out is a little tight. You'll want to take it slow if you've got a bigger rig. Terry and Nancy handled it easily in their Class A, and we made it out too without any trouble. We're going to be tight on that side and on this side. Tire's almost touching on that curb on the right and over here in the back and the rear tire. So it's going to be a little tight getting out of here. Dave, he's our man. If he can't do it, nobody can. Now, he's just going to back up here so we can put the Jeep on. About 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. All done. Ready to rock and roll. Here's what other campers had to say. Guest reviews average 4.5 stars, with most people giving this campground 5 stars. Cell service is limited. T-Mobile and Sprint have major issues, while Verizon and AT&T offer better coverage. And here's our Watts on Wheels report card. Overall, we gave Woodring Campground a solid B. Site privacy and peace and quiet scored high, but maneuverability and cell service brought it down a little bit. Would we stay here again? Absolutely yes. Our all-new monthly Watts on Wheels newsletter launches October 1st. It's free, and subscribers get an email alert each month so you never miss an issue. It's limited to the first 500 subscribers, so sign up soon using the link in the description. Thanks for rolling with Watts on Wheels. Want to help our channel grow? Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and click that bell, or we'll come Jeep chasing ya. Hey, and leave us a comment. Even a quick hello makes our day. So roll, camp, play, and maybe fix something, and have a beer.